Be me, 28, regular guy, work in marketing, drink too much coffee, mildly addicted to memes, go to friend's art show. Place filled with people in oversized scarves discussing late-stage capitalism. Try to blend in with my beer. Then I see her. Emma, short hair, intense eyes, tote bag that says, "Smash the patriarchy, but make it cute." She's standing by a painting of a screaming banana. Art, I guess. Friend introduces us. "Emma, this is Mark. Mark, this is Emma. She's an activist." "Oh no." She immediately goes. "So, what are your thoughts on gender dynamics in modern advertising?" Me. "I like the M&M commercials." She stares like I just committed a war crime. We end up debating for 20 minutes about whether coffee chains exploit baristas. I say probably, she says definitely. I order another beer. At some point she smiles, actually smiles, and says, "At least you're not completely ignorant." That's apparently a compliment in her language. At the end of the night, I walk her to her car. She says, "You seem tolerable. Maybe we could talk again." I ask for her number. She gives it. Undername, Mark, potential re-education subject. My face when I'm not sure if I'm being flirted with or drafted. 2 weeks later, Emma actually texts me first. "Want to grab coffee? Fair trade only." I don't know what that means, but agree immediately. Meet at a tiny hipster cafe, where the beans probably have a PhD. She orders oat milk cappuccino. I order black coffee because I'm poor and afraid of judgment. We sit down. She immediately launches into discussion. "Do you think men are afraid of powerful women?" Me. "I think men are mostly afraid of wasps, but sure, go off." She glares, then laughs despite herself. Progress achieved. Every date becomes half romantic, half seminar. Dinner conversations sound like podcast titles. Deconstructing the male gaze over sushi, gaslighting, gatekeeping, girl bossing, an empirical study. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to make sure my chopsticks don't betray me. She corrects my language constantly. "Don't say mankind, say humankind." "Right, my bad, our kind." She rolls her eyes but smiles. I think she secretly likes my dumb jokes. She just pretends to hate them for feminism. After a few dates, she admits something. "You're surprisingly not a jerk." Me. "High praise coming from someone who called me cis privilege incarnate last week." She blushes, mutters, "Context matters." I tease her about it for days. We start walking home together after every date. She rants about systemic inequality. I nod along and occasionally point out puppies. Somehow it works. Underneath all the lectures, she's actually funny, passionate, alive. And every time she talks, her eyes light up like she's defending something that matters. One night she texts me, "You're different." In a good way or a "please don't text me again" way. Still deciding. My face when I'm 90% sure I'm both the experiment and the control group. Still surviving my weekly crash course in feminist theory. We've been not dating for like a month. She insists we're just engaging in mutual intellectual exploration, which I guess is academic for seeing each other exclusively but refusing to call it that. One Friday she invites me over. "Just dinner," she says. I prepare myself for vegan food and guilt. Walk into her apartment. It's exactly what I expected. Candles, succulents, stack of sociology books taller than me. But it smells amazing. "You cook?" I ask. She shrugs. "Cooking's not gendered, Mark." "Right, but if it was, you'd definitely be winning." She tries not to smile but fails. Score 1 for the patriarchy. Dinner's surprisingly normal. No lectures, no debates, just us, laughing about dumb things. She snorts when she laughs. It's adorable. Somewhere between dessert and wine, she admits. Sometimes I feel like I have to be angry all the time. Like if I stop, I'm failing. I tell her, "You don't always have to fight to prove you care. Sometimes existing kindly is the protest." She just looks at me, really looks, like no one said that to her before. The room goes quiet in that good way. We sit on the couch, movie playing in the background, neither watching it. Our hands end up next to each other. Her fingers twitch once, then intertwine with mine. After a while, she rests her head on my shoulder. I whisper, "This doesn't seem very feminist of you." She murmurs, half asleep, "Shut up." My face when the revolution finally takes a nap. Except lately, the lab sessions involve more kissing and less peer-reviewed articles. She's changing. Still opinionated, still passionate. But now she laughs more, talks about her day instead of dismantling the patriarchy 24/7, sometimes forgets to be angry, then remembers halfway through dessert. Anyway, capitalism is evil. Cool, want another slice of cake? She pauses. Yeah, fine. Small things start happening. She stops correcting every word I use, starts teasing me instead. One night she borrows my hoodie, big baggy thing with a dumb logo that says sarcasm loading. I joke that it's not very feminist of her to wear a man's hoodie. She rolls her eyes but doesn't take it off. In fact, she keeps it for a week. Texts me a picture wearing it with the caption, "Gender is a construct, comfort isn't." I melt a little inside. We go out with her friends one night. They're mid-discussion about toxic masculinity in media. One of them says, "Men are just emotional toddlers with facial hair." I awkwardly sip my drink. Emma surprises everyone. Not all of them. Some actually try. She glances at me mid-sentence. Her friends stare like she just complimented the enemy. Later, she apologizes. "Sorry if that was weird. I didn't mean to, defend you." I grin. "Oh no, please continue my public redemption arc." She laughs and hits me with a fry. Date nights start feeling different. Less debate, more connection. Instead of arguing about what's wrong with the world, we talk about dreams, fears, future plans. I find out she wants to open her own wellness cafe someday. A place where people can just exist without pretending. I tell her she already does that for me. She doesn't respond. Just kisses me. Just two people being human for once. Somehow still alive and dating the former face of campus feminism. Things have been great lately, which of course means life's about to speedrun chaos. It starts when Emma invites me to her activist group's panel night. We're discussing gender roles in modern relationships. Translation: you're about to get roasted on stage. Sit in the audience while she's on the panel. Proud of her, though. She's confident, passionate, articulate. Then someone from the crowd asks, "Can you really be a feminist and date a man who jokes about gender roles?" Entire room turns to her like a synchronized judgment squad. My soul leaves my body. Emma hesitates. For a second, I see her eyes flick toward me. Of course I can. People are complicated. Panel moderator raises an eyebrow. Sounds like you're making excuses. Someone in the back mutters, "Internalized misogyny." Ouch.jpg. The rest of the night is brutal. Whispers, side eyes, passive-aggressive questions. I sit there wishing I could just fade into my seat. After it ends, she barely says anything on the ride home. Radio silence. At her apartment, she finally speaks. "They're right, you know. I used to be stronger. I used to care more." Me, "You still care? You just stopped yelling while doing it." Maybe that's the problem. Or maybe it's growth. She looks torn. They think I've sold out. That I've become one of those girls who loses herself for a guy. Emma, you didn't lose yourself. You just found a version that doesn't need to fight everyone to feel valid. She doesn't respond, just stares at the wall. I reach for her hand. She lets me, but it feels hesitant. Like she's touching something fragile. Next few days, things are weird. Texts get shorter. Calls get rarer. She cancels a date, says she needs to think. That phrase never ends well. I know she's battling herself. Me on one side, old ideology on the other. One night she calls, voice shaky. "I need space." It hits harder than expected. Try to joke. What kind? Emotional, physical, or NASA-level space? She doesn't laugh, just says, "I don't know who I am right now," and hangs up. Sit there in the dark, phone in hand, wondering, did I pull her away from what she believed in? Or did I just give her a reason to question what never fit? My face when I might have accidentally deprogrammed my girlfriend and lost her in the process. Week 3 of radio silence. Life feels like that quiet part of a video game where all the side quests are done, but the main mission is wait and feel sad. Friends keep asking what happened to the feminist girl. One guy calls her my social justice ex. Tell him to shut up. She was more than that. Days blur together. Start rereading our old texts. Bad idea. Half of them are arguments about capitalism. Other half are her sending memes about cats starting revolutions. She was chaos, but in color. Now everything feels grayscale. Then one evening, doorbell rings. Open door. It's Emma. Hair messy, hoodie oversized, eyes tired. Looks like she's been fighting herself for days. "Hey," she says softly. Me, "Hey." Awkward silence. She steps inside without asking. Walks around like she's trying to remember what normal feels like. "I've been thinking," she says. That's usually dangerous. She smirks. Tiny, but it's there. Then she takes a deep breath. "I thought I lost myself being with you. But I realized I was never supposed to fight every single thing to prove a point. So, what changed? You. You never tried to win. You just listened, even when I made everything a debate." She pauses, tears glinting. "I still believe in equality, in women's voices, in everything I always did. But now I get that love isn't submission. It's partnership. So, does this mean I can finally make you breakfast without getting accused of patriarchy?" She laughs through tears. "Only if you do the dishes." We stand there, quiet. She reaches for my hand. This time, it's steady. "I missed you," she whispers. "I miss being called toxic," I whisper back. She hits my arm but smiles. We kiss. Two people who finally stopped trying to prove who's right and started just being right for each other. Later, we sit on the couch, her head on my shoulder, Netflix on, both pretending to watch. She murmurs, half asleep, "You know what's sexy?" "What?" "Emotional maturity." "Guess I'm screwed then." She laughs, sleepy and happy. And for once, I stop overthinking and just let her be. 27 now, 1 year later, still dating Emma. Still can't tell if she loves me or just keeps me around for the content. We've become that couple, the one that argues over who left the light on, and then ends up slow dancing in the kitchen 5 minutes later. She's still a feminist. I'm still a sarcastic gremlin. But somehow, it works. Every Sunday we host a small podcast together. Love and Logic, debating without murdering each other. Started as a joke. Now has 12,000 listeners. Episode titles include Gender Roles and Why He Still Can't Fold Laundry Right, Feminism and Farts, Breaking the Real Taboos, and my personal favorite, Mark Mansplains Feminism and Lives to Tell the Tale. Our fans think we're relationship goals. In reality, we spent 20 minutes fighting over who ate the last Pop-Tart before recording. But she's happier now, more grounded, doesn't have to be the loudest voice in the room, just the truest one. And I've learned to shut up sometimes. And listen, not to win, just to understand. One night after recording, we're lying on the couch. She's scrolling through Twitter, reads something out loud. Some guy said relationships ruin strong women. I snort. He's just never dated one who makes him do the dishes. She grins, climbs onto my lap. "You know, for a guy who used to not get feminism, you're pretty damn good at it." What can I say? I had a great teacher. She kisses me, soft, certain, home. And in that moment, I realize we're still the same idiots, just better at being idiots together. My face when the love of my life taught me that equality isn't war, it's teamwork with extra flirting.